Okay, so now we're going to review the transformations and constructing those. So first we want a center of rotation. Remember to do the center of rotation that takes two perpendicular bisectors. Okay, so that'll help you remember what you're doing. So I'm going to do my first one in green here. Find 2 points that match up. So this point matches that point. So I'll start there. So I'll connect those. You don't have to connect them, but sometimes it makes it a little nicer to do so. And I'll set up my circles here. And it looks like that one's going to go, you know what, I'm going to do that in a different color just so we can see it a little clearer. Right there. And now I'll set up my next two, and maybe I'll connect this point with that point. The key is to always try to find 2 points that are easy to connect. Okay? Make sure they're matching points. You don't want to connect the point with something that it doesn't match. And I'll draw that in. I'll use the brown again to draw that in so we can see the two bisectors clearly. And I can see my intersection point is right there. Okay, so that's center of a rotation. Line of reflection. Line of reflection only takes one perpendicular bisector. So that's a lot easier to handle. So getting my line of reflection, again, I find 2 points that are corresponding to each other. So I'm going to choose this one and that one. And I'll draw the connector. Again, you don't have to draw that connector in. It's not necessary, but a lot of people feel more comfortable with it. And then my line of reflection is going to be right down the middle here. There we go. I'll do the same thing with the other set. Okay, choose 2 points. I might as well choose these two. They're pretty simple. I won't connect them this time. I'll just do it this way. Notice my arcs don't have to be in between. Okay, a lot of people always put their arcs in between, but they don't have to be. As long as they're the same distance away. Remember, that's what we're going for, equidistant points. And there's my line of reflection. Okay, so that's 9 and 10. Let's look at number 11. For number 11, we want to do a couple things. We want to find a line of reflection, first of all, and then the point of rotation. So line of reflection takes one perpendicular bisector. So I'll do C and C prime. So my line of reflection is there. There's part A. And part B, I need to do 2 perpendicular bisectors to get my point of rotation. So I'll do A and A prime. I don't remember which hole I used. Short hole, okay. Always make sure you're using the correct measuring piece here. Okay, so there's one perpendicular bisector. And I'll do another one in a different color. Let's do B and let's do C and C prime. They're pretty far apart. Or C prime and C double prime. One. Uh-oh, didn't catch that. Gotta make that one bigger. There we go. Be prepared if they don't intersect, just extend a little longer. And there's my point of reflection. I'll call that answer B. All right, the one that a lot of people are having trouble with in class is the translation. So remember, translation, you're going to slide down the vector. So first of all, we need to measure the length of the vector. Always start your translations with measuring the length of the vector. So the length of the vector is this long. I'll measure that to point L and to point S. Always visualizing where you want these things to go. They should be moving in this direction. So I'm picturing that happening. Now I'm going to measure from the beginning of the vector to my point. So from the beginning of the vector to point L. It's going to be that big. And I'm going to take that measurement and slide down to the end of the vector. And there's my intersection point. So there is L prime. I'll do the same thing with point S. From the beginning of the vector to point S. Make sure I get the point, not the letter. and slide down to the end of the vector. And there's S prime. I connect them, and that will have made the whole line. There we go. Okay. All right, on to the next page.